I think the world is losing touch with how important values are. I look at the leadership of Canada, America, and other places, and I think to myself, if these guys were under the influence of a truth serum, and I asked them what their values were, I think they would say money. For the longest time, I thought happiness came from what I do. My happiness was always tied to an external image of myself, who I was gonna be in a world that seems to require a definition. Yet all that time, I can't say I was very happy. Life is suffering. You're not supposed to feel good all the time. But the feelings related to my happiness and self-worth were tied to an external outcome I could not control. When I finally sell a show to Netflix, then I'll be happy. When I'm finally rich, then I'll be happy. When I finally have the wife and the kids in the house, then I'll be happy. All my happiness was tied to a future outcome that could or could not happen. I'm hoping for happiness to come from something I cannot control. Why couldn't it come from within me? I think the world is losing touch with how important values are. I see content out there talking about how to be an entrepreneur, a content creator, more attractive. I don't see any content talking about values. And you might be wondering what my values are. Can you tell from my videos? Bitch. Probably not, but it's really fun to complain on the internet. The 4 things I want to embody in this life are empathy, honesty, confidence, and optimism. Honesty and confidence to me is what makes a great man. Optimism, well, I think life is meant to be hard and suck.
That's what she said.
I think it's so easy to be a Debbie Downer. It's a lot harder to be happy and positive about the world. And finally, the most important value to me is empathy. But not like virtue signaling, posting an Instagram story, or donating to a GoFundMe empathy. Like real, genuine, I care empathy. I think it's different. I think it's so easy to just, oh, this sucks, I'm gonna go donate. It's really hard to genuinely care about the suffering of another person. It requires you to actually think, do I want to care about it? And maybe have that harsh realization that I don't. It seems like true empathy is not promoted at all anymore. I think a big reason for this is that we're all just desensitized to human suffering, especially nowadays when all you hear is, I hate these immigrants, or this crackhead's ruining my vibe. Before you leave today, I want to tell you a story that means a lot to me. A long time ago, when I was at university, I was part of a frat. At that time in my life, I was super lost. I was motivated by weird things and super focused on my image, what people thought of me, and the idea of being a beauty. I lived in the frat house in the semester, and while it was fun, it's an experience I would do all over again, it did sort of break me. It made me realize I was becoming someone I didn't want to be. And it was a feeling I didn't know how to deal with. It was a feeling that just sat inside me for so long. I was always fucked up. I was waking up late every single day. My grades were trash. I would go party to party just trying to feel something. And one of those days, a girl that came to the house a lot, someone I really respected because they were caring, open themselves. You probably know someone like this, the type of person who's so cool, so authentically okay with being themselves, it makes you want to be better. Well, she was at the house one late afternoon when I woke up. I was getting ready for school. I got dressed, made my hair, packed my bag. I saw her and some of the boys were chilling on the terribly partied couches at the front. So I sat down to have a conversation with them. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember when I left, I saw a sticky note she had left on my bag that said, "Hey Ryan, I love your hair today. Smiley face." And while that should genuinely just be a whatever saying, for someone that felt the way I did at the time, it genuinely meant the world to me. It shook me to my core so deeply. I was so happy, but at the same time, I wanted to cry. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, I don't like her or anything. Like, why is this tiny note making me feel this way? I realize now that it was the first act of empathy I had felt without asking for it. It had meant so much to me at the time and still means so much to me. I stapled that note in one of my notebooks at home and I still have it to this day. This story is why I believe in being empathetic and why I believe in my values. Because if I do my best to be the person I want to be every single day, I know I'll be happy. And I also know I'll hopefully be bringing happiness to someone else who needs it, whether I realize it or not. Because at the end of the day, you never know who you could help just by being kind.